Title: The Prospector's Lesson by Wisdom Chronicles. In a bustling American frontier town, where the roads were dusty and the wooden saloons echoed with the dreams of fortune seekers, there lived a young prospector named Eli. The late 19th century sun beat down mercilessly on his wide-brimmed hat as he walked. The distant sound of a train whistle a reminder of the ever-present pursuit of progress. One hot, dry afternoon, Eli found himself seated on a rickety bench outside a saloon, staring at the small sack of gold dust he'd managed to gather after months of backbreaking work. A sense of dissatisfaction gnawed at him. He turned to old Joe, a seasoned prospector and a mentor figure who was whittling a piece of wood nearby. "Joe, is this all there is? Days of toil for just this handful of gold?" Eli asked, his voice tinged with frustration. Old Joe, with eyes that had seen many a season, looked thoughtfully at Eli and said, "Son, the value of what you hold isn't just in the gold. Let me tell you a story." Old Joe narrated to Eli about his younger days when he had found a sizable gold nugget. He first took it to a local trader who, unaware of its true worth, offered him just enough to get by for a week. Joe, sensing the nugget's worth, declined and ventured to a jeweler in a nearby town. The jeweler, recognizing the quality, offered a sum that would keep Joe comfortable for months. Yet Joe held on to the nugget. Finally, he traveled to a city where a wealthy collector, upon seeing the nugget, offered Joe a fortune, enough to live comfortably for the rest of his life. It was then that Joe realized the true worth of what he had found. Inspired by old Joe's tale, Eli decided to embark on a similar journey. He first approached a local merchant in the town who eyed his sack of gold dust and offered him a meager amount, barely enough to cover his expenses for a few days. Remembering Joe's story, Eli politely declined and moved on. His next stop was a bustling mining town where a more experienced gold trader assessed his gold dust. The trader offered a sum that would allow Eli to live comfortably in the town for a year. Eli felt a surge of excitement, but recalling Joe's wisdom, he decided to hold on to his gold. Finally, Eli traveled to a distant city where gold was in high demand. There, he met a renowned jeweler who, upon seeing the purity of his gold, offered a small fortune. Eli was astounded. His perseverance had paid off far beyond his expectations. As Eli journeyed back to the frontier town, he reflected on his experiences. He realized that the true value of his gold dust, much like his own worth, was not fixed, but varied greatly depending on where and to whom he presented it. It dawned on him that in life, like in his quest, one's value is not merely determined by what one has, but by where one chooses to be and how one chooses to present oneself. Upon his return, Eli found old Joe still sitting on the bench, the setting sun casting long shadows on the ground. "Joe," Eli began excitedly, "I understand now. It's not just about the gold. It's about understanding its worth and where it's appreciated the most." Old Joe smiled, his eyes twinkling with pride. "Yes, Eli. And remember, this lesson isn't just about gold. It's about you, about people. We all have our worth, but it's up to us to realize it and seek out those who truly appreciate what we have to offer." As the stars began to twinkle in the vast frontier sky, Eli sat beside old Joe, a sense of peace and understanding settling in his heart. He had learned a valuable lesson, one that transcended the pursuit of gold and touched upon the deeper truths of self-worth and recognition. The moral of Eli's story, like the dust of the frontier and the gleam of gold, was timeless. One's value is not inherent, but is often revealed through the journey of life, the choices one makes, and the places where one chooses to shine.